Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today, Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill, today with Kate Boyer, Stephenson County Fair. Kate, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Kate, give us a little background on you. Where did you grow up, and talk a little bit about your career?
So I grew up in a small town in Champaign County, Illinois. And my mom did events for our town for years, which led to me starting to volunteer as a really young teenager. And before I was 20, I was running all of our town events. So that was a blast. And I became an entrepreneur. And then I started my own signature event called Homer Soda Festival, where we had glass bottled sodas. You could taste 250 different sodas and one day. And that brought in about 10,000 people for a one-day event in a town of about 1,000. And people came from all across America. We pre-sold tickets to Florida, Pennsylvania, all over. It was a blast. I did it for about 5 years until I sold the company.
Okay, well, wait. So let's stop there. Where did that idea come from?
I had a small brick and mortar store in our downtown where we sold glass bottled sodas. And I also had a distribution business where I distributed those glass bottled sodas. The biggest thing people would ask me is like, Moxie, oh my gosh, I've heard of Moxie soda from 100 years ago. I don't want to drink a whole bottle. I just want to taste it. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to do an event where you can taste all these crazy, wacky things for a quarter and get like 1 or 2 ounces and just kind of involve the whole community, involve all of my tiny little bottlers. And yeah, it was
so your vendors weren't out any money. They necessarily
Nope.
They didn't make a huge profit, but at least they were able to connect with the community that wanted to be a part of them.
Yeah, and I actually, since I had a distribution company, I bought all the product from them.
Oh, I got
so
you.
I allowed them to set up and meet and greet, so people could go and talk to the owners of the company, talk about how they bottle, the bottling process, kind of, get the hands-on feel.
All right. Now, second question, completely unrelated. As an entrepreneur, who's your hero? Who's your mentor?
Oh, I would have to say my dad.
Okay.
So my dad, my uncle, they've been entrepreneurs since the 1960s. And every idea, we'd sit down, we'd brainstorm, we'd come up with a little business plan. What's the ROI? What's our break even? What can we do? So they just made a whole entrepreneurial culture. And my dad is just the king of that. So
is it not one of the funnest things in the world, that feeling of when that idea just clicks and you're like, okay, this, and you're like, you want to do it now. And as you know, speed is just so important, but so is patience as it goes through that. Okay. Very good. Kate, you've got a great thing going there. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about the fair, the Stephenson County Fair.
Yeah, so I'll just give you a slight segue. I sold my company. I spent the next 5 years with a hobby farm. We had cows, we milked cows, we had chickens, we had hogs, all this stuff. And we did that for 5 years. My husband offered a job 200 miles away. We're living in the city. This job became available to do the county fair. And I thought, well, that's so perfect. I love events. I love the agriculture. This is a perfect fit. And so I've been there for about 18 months. And so this last year was my first fair. And I absolutely love county fairs.
Why?
I feel like it is showcasing the best of your county. What it used to be was, people are, grandma is making her wonderful jam. She's bringing the best of it. You're bringing the best of your animals. I feel like in the last 30 years, it kind of got derailed a little bit, got a little too commercialized, got a lot of businesses that just follow fairs around, which is great. As an entrepreneur, that's what you do. But I really like the trend of taking it back to, what does your county have to offer? How can you showcase that to the community? How can you give your community a stage to shine and to show everyone what you're all about?
I just had flashbacks from Dennis the Menace. You remember that TV show? So Martha had her pie and she was taking, and then Aunt B, always would enter hers into the county contest. That's so funny that you brought that up, because you think about for us, really, we've been focusing on the 4-H and the ag children's side.
Yep.
But there is that whole community involved open class.
Yes.
That makes it good. Okay, what else does your fair offer? Do you guys have rides? Do you have entertainment? Do you have?
Yep, we've got the rides, the entertainment. This year, because my focus was on local, we typically have a tent where we have bands. We still had some of the bands, but I used that space to give it back to the community. So like we had local dance teams that are in our community that are really good. They're going on to national, but a lot of local people don't see them. So we had local dance teams playing. Our art museum came and they did an art class to teach you how to do a canvas painting. We had the fire department come and set up obstacle courses for the kids. And then they had fire instruction on puppet shows and things like that. Let me think. Taekwondo dance, or not dance, Taekwondo martial arts demonstrations out there. So lots of interactive things from the community for the community.
Yeah, fantastic. Kate, what's the greatest reward for you as a person working with the fair?
Seeing the community connect. When I see people coming to your fair, having a great time, connecting with other people, and being able to have this this moment, you're not connected to a phone, you're disconnected, you're there in the moment with your community.
Yeah, no, spectacular. Very good. All right, 2 fun questions, Kate. I'm a live music guy. I love entertainment. What's the all-time best concert you've ever seen in your entire life?
Okay, and I'm probably going to be a little bit non-traditional with this. Coming from Champaign County, which it's a university town, so I got to see a lot of acts coming through.
Yep.
I have to say, one of the most entertaining ones is a band called Bone Jugs and Harmony.
Yep.
And have you heard of them?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
we're dating ourselves a little bit there, but yeah.
Yeah. So they played my event almost every year, and they just did like this fantastic bluegrass thing that just I never heard it anywhere like that, and it was just very entertaining everywhere they went. Old people, young people, is fun.
Yeah, very good. Okay, dead or alive, you can bring one act to the Stephenson County Fair. Who would you bring?
Well, I have teenagers, so they have been trying to get me to get some of the younger acts in, but you know, dead or alive. Yeah, I'd love to see the Beatles.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, they would entertain everybody for sure. Kate,
absolutely.
How do people find out more about the Stephenson County Fair?
Our website's the best way. It's StevensonCountyFair.org.
Okay, very good. Yep. Kate, thank you so much for your time. You're a busy girl. I appreciate you.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine.